There are men who can shower a woman with compliments from morning to night, promise the moon, swear devotion, and disappear the moment life becomes inconvenient. And then there are other men quieter, deeper, harder to read. They do not rush to confess. They do not perform feelings for applause. They do not always know how to put tenderness into beautiful sentences. But when they love, their love enters a woman's life like a force of nature, steady, protective, undeniable. It shows up in the way they remember the little things, in the way they stay, in the way they solve, build, carry, return, defend, and quietly choose her again and again. Astrology has long whispered that some zodiac men are not wired to reveal their hearts through dramatic declarations. Their emotions run deep, but their language is action. For them, love is not a speech. Love is presence. Love is consistency. Love is making sure you got home safely. Love is fixing what is broken before you even ask. Love is standing beside you in your worst hour without needing credit for it. These men may leave a woman wondering at first, because they rarely behave like characters from romantic movies. They can seem reserved, cautious, even emotionally mysterious. Yet the deeper truth is this: the most powerful love is often the kind that is not spoken to early. A woman who knows how to read energy instead of empty phrases will recognize these men faster than anyone else. She will notice that he may not say "I adore you," but he rearranges his schedule to help her. He may not write poems, but he remembers what hurts her, what comforts her, what she fears, and what she dreams about. He may not flood her with emotional confessions, but he begins to treat her life as if it matters to him. That is where the real magic begins. In this horoscope, we are entering the hidden chamber of male love, the place where feeling becomes action, where loyalty is stronger than language, and where silence does not mean indifference. It means depth. It means caution. It means that when this man finally gives his heart, it is not a performance. It is real. And among all the zodiac signs, there are 5 men especially known for loving this way. Taurus Man. A Taurus man rarely falls in love in a loud way. He does not usually burst into a woman's life with dramatic speeches, emotional chaos, or endless declarations. In fact, at first, he may seem almost too calm, too practical, too reserved for romance. But that is exactly why so many women misunderstand him. A Taurus man does not believe love should be proven by words spoken in candlelight and forgotten by morning. He believes love should feel safe, solid, tangible, real. If he loves you, he will start building comfort around you long before he says anything direct. One of the clearest signs that a Taurus man truly loves a woman is that he begins to include her in the quiet structure of his life. He makes room for her, not only emotionally, but practically. He wants to know whether she ate, whether she slept well, whether she needs help, whether she is cold, tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. He notices the details that make her life easier and begins taking care of them as if it is the most natural thing in the world. That is not casual affection for him. That is devotion in motion. A Taurus man shows strong feelings through reliability. If everyone else disappears when life gets messy, he remains. If something breaks, he fixes it. If you are exhausted, he helps without making you feel weak. If you are in trouble, he becomes even calmer, more focused, more present. He may not say "I love you" every day, but he will become the man whose shoulder feels like home. And that is his love language, making a woman feel protected from the instability of the world. A woman can understand his love by watching whether he becomes consistent with her. Taurus is not the sign of temporary fascination. If he is serious, he shows up. He keeps promises. He remembers what you like. He plans with you. He worries about your comfort. He may bring you your favorite food, help with something tedious, carry your burdens, or quietly spend his energy making your world softer and safer. He does not do this for everyone. What speaks loudest for him is effort that asks for no applause. He will not always be poetic. Sometimes he may even seem stubborn or emotionally hard to read. But if he is investing time, stability, patience, and physical care into you, his heart is already speaking. A Taurus man in love is not trying to impress a woman for one night. He is showing her, little by little, that she can rest in his presence. And for him, there is no greater declaration than that. Virgo Man. A Virgo man is one of the most misunderstood lovers in the zodiac. Many women expect love to look like passion first and care second. But with Virgo, it is often the opposite. His feelings begin quietly, almost invisibly, and reveal themselves through attentiveness, responsibility, and small acts that others overlook. He may not say I am crazy about you, and he may not even flirt in an obvious way. But if he loves you, he starts studying your needs with astonishing precision. He notices the things you do not say out loud. He pays attention to what drains you, what helps you, what you are afraid of, and what you pretend is fine when it is not. Virgo men often express love through service, not because they are cold, but because for them, helping is intimacy. If he loves a woman, he wants to make her life better, more organized, less stressful, more protected from avoidable pain. He may remind you of something important, solve a problem before it grows, help you make a decision, take care of practical matters, or step in exactly when you are overwhelmed. To an untrained eye, it can seem like he is simply being useful. But know when Virgo truly loves, usefulness becomes tenderness. A woman can tell a Virgo man is in love when his care becomes deeply personal. He remembers your schedule, your moods, your habits, your health, your weak spots, and your goals. He starts worrying about your future as if it is connected to his own. He wants you to be well, to succeed, to be protected from chaos and disappointment. He may criticize at times, but if the feeling is real, even his criticism comes from concern. He wants to improve what hurts you because he cannot stand watching the woman he loves suffer needlessly. His actions speak in subtle ways. He checks whether you got home safely. He notices when your voice changes. He offers help before you ask. He repairs, organizes, finds solutions, researches, compares, recommends, and quietly stands guard over the details of your life. He may not be the type to make a dramatic confession under the stars, but he is the type to be there in all the ordinary moments that actually define real love. Capricorn Man. A Capricorn man is not quick with emotional confessions because he treats love seriously. He does not like careless promises, exaggerated feelings, or sentimental noise that cannot survive real life. To him, love is not something to announce lightly. It is a responsibility, a decision, a commitment with weight. That is why many women think a Capricorn man is distant when, in truth, he may already be feeling more than he is willing to say. He holds his emotions tightly because he wants them to mean something when they are finally revealed. When a Capricorn man truly loves, he begins to invest, not only emotionally, but with time, effort, planning, and responsibility. He becomes more available than usual. He starts thinking long-term. He pays attention to whether you are secure, supported, and moving towards something stable. He may not call it romance, but he will begin acting like a man who is preparing a place for you in his future. This is one of the clearest signs of his real feelings. He stops treating you like a temporary chapter and starts treating you like someone whose presence must be accounted for in his life decisions. His love shows through responsibility and protection. He may help you solve a financial issue, give realistic advice, encourage your ambitions, support your career, or stand beside you when things are difficult instead of disappearing into excuses. He is not usually theatrical, but he is dependable in a way that becomes deeply moving over time. While other men may speak beautifully and vanish, Capricorn proves himself in hard seasons. He is there when things are inconvenient, uncomfortable, or demanding, and that is exactly where his love becomes visible. A woman can understand his feelings by watching how seriously he treats her life. Does he remember important things? Does he show up when it matters? Does he help in ways that create real stability? Does he try to protect her from bad decisions, unnecessary pain, or unreliable people? Capricorn men do not waste their strongest energy on passing attraction. If he is investing his discipline, his attention, and his problem-solving strength into you, that is not casual. That is emotion translated into action. What speaks for him most loudly is sacrifice. A Capricorn man in love will make room in an already busy life. He will carry pressure without dramatizing it. He will do difficult things quietly if they matter to the woman he loves. He may not give endless verbal reassurance, and sometimes his emotional style can seem restrained, but beneath that restraint is often a very deep, very loyal heart. His love says, I am here. I am serious. I am building something that can last. And for the woman who understands him, that may be worth more than 1,000 beautiful words. Scorpio Man. A Scorpio man is one of the deepest lovers in the Zodiac, but also one of the least likely to speak lightly about his feelings. He does not say I love you just because the moment feels romantic. He does not hand over his heart carelessly. For him, love is exposure, risk, surrender, power, and vulnerability all at once. That is why silence often becomes his shield. A woman may think he is unreadable, but beneath that stillness there is usually a storm of feeling far stronger than he wants anyone to see. When a Scorpio man truly loves, his actions become intensely personal. He begins to study the woman he loves almost instinctively. He notices changes in her mood, the tone of her voice, the things she hides behind a smile, the people who hurt her, the dreams she is afraid to say aloud. He may not ask 1,000 soft questions, but he sees far more than he admits. Love makes him alert, focused, deeply aware, and that awareness is one of the clearest signs that his feelings are serious. A Scorpio man shows love through protection, not always in a dramatic way, but in a very real one. He wants to know that you are safe. He watches who surrounds you. He pays attention to whether someone is treating you badly. He becomes quietly defensive of your dignity, your emotions, your boundaries, and your trust. If he loves you, he does not treat your pain casually. He takes it personally. And once a Scorpio man begins to feel that your heart is connected to his, he becomes the kind of man who will stand between you and the world without needing to announce it. A woman can understand his love by noticing whether he lets her into his private world. Scorpio does not open easily. He does not reveal weakness to people he does not trust. So if he starts telling you hidden truths, showing you old wounds, admitting fears, sharing memories he never gives away, that is enormous. For this man, emotional exposure is not casual intimacy. It is sacred access. If he lets you see who he is beneath the control, beneath the intensity, beneath the silence, then his feelings are real. Another way Scorpio shows love is through loyalty that borders on obsession. He remembers everything about the woman he loves. He remembers dates, details, stories, expressions, passing comments, unspoken disappointments. He can appear silent, but he is carrying a map of you inside him. He wants depth, not surface. If he loves you, he wants to know your soul, not only your habits. And in return, he offers a kind of emotional presence that can feel almost supernatural, as if he senses your sadness before you even speak. What actions speak loudest for him? Showing up in your hardest moments, defending you without being asked, refusing to disappear when things get emotionally messy, watching over what matters to you, making sure you are not alone when life becomes dark. A Scorpio man may not flood you with easy words, but if he is consistent, protective, attentive, deeply emotionally tuned in, and fiercely loyal, then his heart is already speaking. And when Scorpio loves, he does not love halfway. He loves with the kind of force that changes the atmosphere around a woman's life. Aquarius Man. An Aquarius man can be one of the most confusing men in love because his feelings rarely arrive in the form people expect. He is not usually sentimental in the traditional sense. He may avoid overly emotional speeches, resist labels too early, and act as though he is perfectly independent even when his heart is already deeply engaged. That is why many women miss the truth about him. Aquarius often says less than he feels, not because he is empty, but because he processes love differently. He does not always dramatize emotion. He demonstrates it through unusual constancy, mental devotion, and rare acts of real presence. When an Aquarius man truly loves, one of the first things that changes is the way he gives his attention. This is a man whose mind is often busy, scattered across ideas, projects, dreams, observations, and future possibilities. But when he loves, he returns to one woman again and again. He wants to hear her thoughts, her strange theories, her hidden opinions, her late-night worries, her plans for the future. He may not express romance in cliché language, but he becomes fascinated by her inner world. He listens, he remembers, he comes back to conversations that mattered. He starts treating her mind and spirit as a place he wants to live near. A woman can understand an Aquarius man's love by watching whether he makes space for her inside his freedom. Freedom is sacred to him. He does not give it up easily, and he does not restructure his life for just anyone. So if he begins including you in his routines, inviting you into his personal space, introducing you to the world he protects, or choosing your company over his need to remain emotionally untouched, that is not casual. That is one of the clearest proofs of his feelings. Aquarius men often show love through acceptance. He may not be overly possessive or traditionally demonstrative, but when he loves, he gives a woman something rare, the feeling that she can be fully herself. He does not want to shrink her. He wants to understand her uniqueness and make room for it. He encourages her ideas, supports her individuality, respects her differences, and treats her inner complexity as something beautiful rather than inconvenient. This is his quiet kind of devotion. He says without saying it, "You do not need to become someone else to be loved by me." His actions speak in unexpected ways. He checks in at odd but meaningful moments. He sends something that reminded him of you. He helps with a problem no one else understood. He finds a solution from a surprising angle. He includes you in future plans without making a grand announcement. He becomes reliable in his own style, maybe not overly emotional, but unmistakably present. If he starts choosing you repeatedly, sharing his thoughts, letting you see his vulnerable side, and showing up in the little spaces between everyday life and private truth, then he is feeling far more than he may admit. Another major sign of his love is emotional honesty in rare doses. Aquarius does not always find it easy to speak from the heart on command. But when he loves, he begins to reveal what he usually keeps hidden: his disappointments, his loneliness, his dreams, his fear of being misunderstood. These moments may be brief, but they are precious. If he lets you see the human softness beneath the cool exterior, that is no small thing. It means trust. And for Aquarius, trust is one of the purest forms of love. What tells a woman that his feelings are deep? He stays connected. He lets her matter. He adapts his independence to make room for her. He treats her mind, her freedom, and her emotional truth with tenderness. He may never be the man who repeats "I love you" 10 times a day, but if he is present, accepting, mentally devoted, and quietly consistent in a way he is with no one else, then his actions are saying exactly what his lips may hesitate to pronounce.